everybody, we are here with Adam, leader, Richard Oakes, and actors Neal Ward and Christopher Mulvin. How are you guys?
We're good.
Very well, thank you. Thanks for having us.
Thank you for coming on. Okay, so Feed Me. That pretty fun movie, pretty interesting. Uh, can this is for Adam and Richard. Can you give me kind of a rundown of the film?
Well, the film is about a man who's just suffered the great loss of his beloved wife, and he ends up finding himself in the home of a deranged cannibal who convinces him that death is the only path he must take, and somehow it needs to happen in the most horrific way imaginable, and that's kind of the premise of the film, with flesh.
This was inspired by true events?
Yes.
Yeah. Can you fill me in on that a little bit?
So we were on a music video shoot a little while back, and Adam was like, "Oh, you heard about this Armin Mew guy, the German guy who convinced someone to be eaten willingly?" And we were like, "That's so balmy that you wouldn't believe it, but maybe we should do a film about that and see where it goes." And kind of, yeah, that's where it came from.
Excellent. Yeah. I was wondering if that was the same case or if there was another twisted cannibal out there floating around. But Stuart Gordon actually also did a play, Taste, based on that strange case. And yeah, oof. So Neal, this question is for you. Can you tell us a little bit about your character lineup?
Okay, so Lionel is a guy from America in the southern states who sort of prize upon people in a weakened state of mentality where they're in their lowest place, and basically offers them a way out by means of consensual human consumption. So he touches on things like the Yurikin tribes and how tribes use consensual human consumption to get back with the people that they've lost. In Jed's case, for him, I'm after him because he's trying to get back with his wife, who's sadly passed. So yeah, he's completely bonkers, completely, I'm gonna say batshit crazy. He's larger than life, and he becomes your mate very quickly. He becomes your best friend, and there's some endearingness to him that hopefully everybody likes. And he has this way of manipulating people to get what he wants. And when it doesn't go his way, then things go bad, and it's barbecue time.
and he fires up the grill. Yeah, your accent was hilarious.
Not good, just hilarious.
You totally nailed it. It was cracking me up.
Thank you.
Christopher, so you play Jed, and you just lost your wife. You're spiraling, into just horrible depression.
Absolutely.
So what made you want to do this film?
So I have never really done a horror film myself. I've normally done sort of comedic roles. Me and Neal and Richard have worked together ourselves, and we've sort of like bounced off each other with all these comedic sort of stuff. And as soon as Richard, Adam, and Neal as well got in contact with me saying, "We're doing a horror, would you like to have the role of this?" And I was like, "Yes, please, thank you very much." And I fell in love with it, reading the script as well, being with these guys as well, just again because I know their process as well. It was I couldn't say no to that. So doing a horror was my dream come true.
Right. And so you mentioned that your wheelhouse was originally comedy. And so I was this question's for Adam and Richard. How did you guys, I guess it's for everybody, but how did you find the right balance of kind of the drama, the gore, and then of course the comedy?
Rich and my sense of humor has always been very, very, it's just ridiculous, man. We laugh at the most ridiculous things, we laugh at awkward things. We sometimes laugh at things you shouldn't laugh at, and with our first movie, we were a little bit afraid to kind of put our sense of humor into it, you know, because I guess we were more focused on what do other people want as opposed to what do we want. So when it came around to doing Feed Me, excuse the language, but we both just said, fuck it, man, let's put our sense of humor into this and do something for us. And that was the most important thing for us to do. You know, we wanted a deep underlying layer of something relatable and touching and sad, because that's relatable, but we wanted to spruce it up with our just ridiculous, I don't know, just with our ridiculous sense of humor, because that's what we do, man. So we've done it with pride. We're wearing our heart on our sleeve with this, and so I mean the stuff, what you see in the film is very much it's very much us, I guess.
I guess my next question is how do you guys work together? It fascinates me when there's a pair that does writing and directing together. So how does that work?
We decided early on that we wanted to avoid any kind of problems where that, you know, we're both very creative and we're both very passionate about what we do. And so there is a path of just going, okay, well, let's just do it and we'll work it out on the day. That's probably going to cause problems because we're going to start going, no, I want it this way, I want it this way. So we kind of decided to divide it based on what we specialize in naturally. So we write the story together, but Adam takes it away and writes the script with all the dialogue and all that amazing candy that's on top of it, and it does a great job. And I come from a cinematography background, kind of more like art and stuff like that. So decided to kind of split it in that way. So on set, Adam deals with like the dialogue and how he's written the words, and it makes sense that he's like, no, that's not how it should be said. Adam's got how it should be said in his head, and like can push that way. And then I'm kind of dealing with like the cinematography side and the blocking of the actors and how they move through the scene and how the scene looks. Do you know what I mean? So we kind of divided that way, and we do kind of jump across each other. Like Adam will go, how about a shot here? Or what if we had it this way? And I'll say, well, that line's not really selling, I think, when you hear it out loud rather than on the page. Maybe we try this line. And we kind of, jump across each other a little bit, but we each have the vetoes in our specialities, if you know what I mean.
Excellent. So yeah, same, I guess, question for Neal and Christopher. How, as far as acting against one another in this crazy movie, was there was there a lot of give and take between what you guys were doing, or were you just pretty much just sticking to script?
Well, we pretty much, when we worked out that it was going to be Chris working with us, and then Chris was able to come and do the shoot, I spoke with Chris, and we worked on a film before, and it was just carnage of laughter and messing around and silly voices and all these kind of things. So we, straight out of the take, we'd be having a laugh, rolling around. And we said to each other, like, the line was quite serious for me. I'm going to go a little bit different on this. I need to put a lot more effort in this time. There's a lot more to do, and I don't mind if we're quite serious in between takes. And Chris was like, yeah, of course, my man, don't worry. And then first day on set, straight out the window again. It was you had to have a balance of intense seriousness or sadness or the depressiveness to then come out. You have to go to something funny to sort of take you away from the seriousness. So it lasted all of one take, I think, and then it was so it's always a pleasure working with Chris anyway, because he's such a wonderful human being outside of the job that we were doing. So to work with him on set and to create something so special, we've been in films together, but haven't really had scenes together. But we'd always had this eye for what work he's created in the past, and thought, we reckon that this is just perfect. And I needed to work with someone that I could get on with like a house on fire, because of how tasking Lionel was. So yeah, I mean, the guys nailed it with the casting, and we just had so much fun. I mean, it was hard. It's one of the hardest times of my life throughout the shoot. Just the intensity we all had to put in on both crew and cast sides, the gruelingly long shoots, and just to get what we needed to make this the film it was. But it's always great when you're doing it with friends and family, really, because we're all family, man.
Yeah.
I wouldn't work with any other people so quickly and so say yes so quickly. I know these guys have been work, and I'll do it all over again.
Is there a feed me too on the way? At how long was the shoot?
The shoot was a total of about 14 or 15 days. I think we spent 7 days doing all the stuff in Lionel's apartment, and then about another 7 days, maybe 8 actually, of doing all the other stuff in the film, all the external shots and the other locations here and there. It felt like about 50 years, but yeah, it was about, yeah, it was tough, it was grueling and everything, but it was a labor of love for everybody. And yeah, we got through it, man. We got through it, and everyone just, what a powerhouse team, man. Honestly, everybody was just so passionate, so up for it. Everyone was up for going, you know, past hours. Everyone was, we were like, look, we need to carry on, but we understand if you don't want to. And everyone was like, yes, let's carry on. We want to do it. There was this kind of mutual love for this film that everyone had, and it just felt like magic over those 14, 15 days of grueling work. So yeah.
It's honestly, it's a gift when you have a shoot where everybody is on the same level committed.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's something very special. So I really want to talk about the gore and the effects, because I'm crazy about it. So there are some really good practical effects here. Was that because you preferred practical effects? Was it a budget thing? Do you prefer practical effects?
Totally. Yeah. I think if you can do gore practically, always do it practically. That's my view on it. I know David Fincher kind of treats it different because he wants to control every single drop of blood. Like, that's a bit kind of too far. But yeah, it always looks better. You know when there's a physical thing happening. I think there's a couple of shots of CG wounds in the film, but I still don't think they sell as well as the practical. Like, they're only because there's no way to do it practically. Like, it's always practical unless you can't. And so,
right. Yeah. Unless you can't safely. But were there any, for any of you guys, were there any scenes that were particularly nauseating to shoot?
I mean, you.
Yeah, I mean, to be
sorry.
fair, it's a lot. I mean, I guess with me, because I love it myself. So actually, to be fair, every single thing we did, the gruesome scenes, so I can't go into too much bit, but everything, I loved it. I absolutely loved the element of preparing, like, okay, this is going to happen now, sort of thing, on those days and stuff. And it was a lot of pressure as well, because of the limitation of shots that we could do as well with the stuff we had available as well. So it's like, okay, we need to try and get this as best as we can on this sort of take and stuff, because it is limited. But I loved it. I absolutely loved the process. I was like, I'm ready to go. Let's go. So, I mean, I don't know about you guys as well, like sort of the process. But
It was like, I just wanted to say, like, when it came to the gore, nothing was nauseating in that sense, because we're all fans of gore. I love gore, and it was fun. It was a big giant gore fest, and it was great. It was cool. However, the stuff that really did resonate with me personally and made me feel sick to my stomach was particularly the story with Chris and Samantha Loxley, so Jed and Olivia, and that marriage that breaks down and stuff, because not only is the subject part at hand so unsettling and upsetting and tragic, it was the way those guys brought to the table something so, oh man, it was just like to watch them portray, take this script and bring out something that you can't see on a page, and do some of those scenes together was just, honestly, to watch that, I was crying at parts just watching it. You know, I was laughing at parts. I felt so numb in places, and that was down to them as the on-screen couple that were it was really hard, I think, for it's a difficult subject to broach, and it's something that I think we can all relate to, whether it's losing someone or grief, or whether it's death or losing someone you love in general, whether it's a relationship breaking up or something like that. It's something relatable, and those guys nailed that, nailed it.
Wonderful. Okay, so I suppose my my last question, it's kind of a goofy one, but starting with Neal and Christopher, what's the strangest thing that you've eaten?
Strangest thing.
I had a fried cockroach. I had a fried cockroach when I was in when I worked for a year in Kos in Greece, and it was quite like there was one of these areas where we went to, and they had them as just like the starters, and we were like, well, let's try that sort of thing. And that, I think that's the strangest thing.
Any good?
I tried. The dishes as well. It was lovely. I was like, oh, wow, this is. It was amazing. Yeah. So that's probably me.
I can't think.
Nothing.
I'm quite fussy with food, so I don't usually venture out into the world of exotic delicacies. Strangest thing I've eaten, probably Lego as a kid. Putting the wrong things in your mouth as a child and swallowing them by accident, I suppose. Yeah.
Adam,
I've got nothing for you. I'm sorry for that. No.
that's it.
Sorry, yeah.
That's fine. That's fine. Adam, Richard, what about you guys?
Cream, basically ointment, by mistake. Do you guys have Savlon cream out in the States? Yeah. So I was at a music festival a few years ago, and I woke up in the morning so drunk, like off my skull drunk, and I got out of the tent, went to go brush my teeth. I'm like, what the fuck is this? And I realized I mistaken Savlon, and I'm there just spitting it out, and everyone's laughing at me, and it was really dramatic. Yeah.
But amazingly, your gums were very relaxed after that. weren't they?
Absolutely, man.
The words just flew right out of your mouth. Yeah, I think the weirdest thing I've had was like maybe scorpion, and it tasted like pencil shavings. But
Oh
whatever.
wow.
Yeah, it was okay.
Like a fried scorpion as well, sort of thing, or just straight in.
No, it was like a dehydrated little scorpion.
Oh wow.
And I was like, oh, okay, and it was just kind of like just shell. That's all.
What's the thing you've eaten, Rich?
Bird shit.
Bird shit. I think Rich wins.
Okay, you win.
Bye.
Okay,
No, I was
I
five. I
think-
don't know why. I just used to pick up bird shit.
So it was voluntary?
It was, yeah, it's like a menu, isn't it? It's like
All right.
Food. Yeah. Oh my god.
Okay, on that note,
oh, yeah. I still dabble.
oh jeez. Okay, I can only imagine what the set was like now. Oh my god. Was bird shit on the craft services table? Or?
Not for long. Rich ate it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, sorry about that.
It's
All right,
good.
well, gentlemen, clock the carry shirt. That's amazing. Thank you. Again, thank you so much for coming on and chatting. Adam, Richard, Neal, Christopher, everybody see Feed Me when it comes out at the end of the month. I believe it's coming out, let's see, October 27th, 2022 on digital and on demand. Do yourself a favor and watch this crazy movie. Gentlemen, thank you. Thank you for your
Thank
time.
you. Thank you so much, dude.
Best of luck.
Cheers.